Alexander Armenkov, and today is 12th of October 2022, and I continue my series Reality is Subject to Influence. During the month of October, I'm doing this series where I'm influencing my body, and especially I'm working with the body weight, where I have created an identity of a 90 kilogram person. In the moment I'm 112.8. Yesterday I was 112. The day before I was 111.3. So the last 3 days I have actually retreat from the goal, and the results are just saying what I'm doing. And what I've been doing the last 2 days, I have been eating to some extent, and you can see from the result that in the moment I'm stuck between 111 and 112 kilograms. So today I would like, do I change the goals? No. Do I change identity? No. So I want to explain you now a little bit about the direction. Once we understand the directions in our life, then it's much more easily to go with the flow towards the directions that are natural for us. So let's speak about the direction of our being. In the moment in the world, there are approximately two basics directions for what we perceive as a possibility. One of the directions that the human beings are taking is that they are saying that everything in the physical matter reality is not important, and everything that is important is in the unseen, it's in the fire, it's in the spiritual realm, it is outside of this reality. And there are so many beliefs and views that are leading humanity to pay attention and to go only in this direction. There are other parts of the beings that are telling us all that the direction actually is to just be and dwell in the physical matter reality, and there is everything that we need. We don't need to bother for everything that is unseen. We don't need to think about everything that is going to happen. The only thing that we have as a direction is just to be always stuck in the physical matter reality. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. And then in the end, and what is after the end, it is not part of everything that we are considering. So my idea here is to give you this direction. One of the direction is to going up. All of us to go into enlightenment, to think about things that are above and to ignore everything that is here. The other direction is to ignore everything that is above and just to stay here where we are. And the other thing which is very important, except the direction, is our relationship to who we are and what we have. So we as human beings 100% are sure that we have individualized body. And when we think about the relationship to ourselves, if you are a spiritual person, if you are from the people that are strongly putting their attention about a higher direction, they speak a lot about the higher self, they speak a lot about everything they are saying is directed to things that are unseen, for some people are not understandable, and then they are ignoring everything that is happening actually with their personalized body, with their personalized reality, with their wealth and everything that is here in the physical matter reality, and they say these are not the important thing. The important things are what is happening inside of me, and I'm just a soul, and one day my soul is going somewhere, and there are so many beliefs. I don't want to go there, but I was the one just to tell you about the fundamentals of the direction. Then the other direction, the hedonist direction, is connected with this, that we don't want to take care about our inner being and everything that is unseen, and we just want to give up to the impulses. Basically, it is a relationship with the body, and in the one direction that is the directions towards the above, we are ignoring the body. And that's why I'm doing this series, in order to show you that relationship between the inner being and the body is very important, and this interaction is going on in all of our lives on a daily basis. Then, if we stay only in the realm of the physical matter reality, only this is important, then we are going to have a relationship to the body, that the body is the one that is controlling everything. My brain, my body functions. Actually, I need to listen very carefully to everything that my body is telling me to do, and to just do it. The problem with this so-called hedonistic view, where I need just to enjoy the pleasures, where I just need to stay in the impulses of the body, is okay, but the long-term results, if you just want to do everything that your body is desiring for you, long term it is not beneficial for the human being. And what is the reason why? Why actually everything is not coming from the body in such an extent that actually the body to wish everything beautiful, everything great for us, and why the center of the ruling of our reality is not actually put in the body. It was going to be so much more easy, because then we are just going to be like animals. We were just going to follow our instincts, and we don't need to care about choosing. We don't need to take care about everything that I'm speaking with you today, connected to the management and ruling of our own realities. And the body is a vital part of our reality, because this is the first thing outside of our inner being that we see on a daily basis while we are conscious and during the unconsciousness. Everything that is happening in your unseen is non-stop interacting first with your body. So the relationship between the inner being and the body is very important long-term to be managed, and we need to decide who is going to be the ruler. In my case, in October, I have decided that the inner Alexander, whom you don't see, whom I know that it is a limitless being, is in a position to influence all the body functions to such an extent that the body needs to be where it is to be in the cycle of this relationship between me and you, me and the body. And the other very important long-term vision and perspective about reality and the positioning of the human being is very important. I have called and labeled ourselves as border zone creatures, because we are neither creatures of the above, neither creatures and beings of the unseen, neither just normal 100% physical materiality beings that don't have additional awareness, perceptions, and are not doing something more in the invisible. Which is the ruler of your own reality? Is it the body that is creating all the functions and everything for you? Is the brain the one that is actually managing everything in our reality? Or is the so-called the invisible software part of you and of me actually the one that needs to start ruling everything connected to the body? All of us know that it is not so easy. It is not at all a concept that is practically very easy, because we cannot disconnect ourselves from our body. Of course, we have heard a lot of stories that when people are dying, when actually the body is ceasing to exist, only then there are stories that people have seen themselves, and in the operational rooms we all heard these stories, and all of them are telling that maybe there is something more than just the body. But nobody can make a showcase for us, nobody can do the examples for us and the researches and says, okay, now this is a body, this is something more which is unseen. We can make a lot of researches and we can say, okay, this is this part, this is this part, and we understand everything and we experience everything. But what is important here is to speak about the direction. And the problem with the humanity is that a lot of us think that we are having the final destination to the above. And our final destination is in an invisible spiritual realm. Well, let me tell you that the human beings will always be creatures that are going to have bodies. Our final destination is that we will always be in a relationship with the physical matter reality, and we will always be in a body. I understand that this construct, and this is a paradox, because then our body, when we die, it finishes to exist. So Alex, how can you tell me that long term I will be always in a relationship with a body? Well, this is one of the possibility for the direction for a long-term humanity. And this direction is actually the most logical one, because we as a border zone creatures, actually through evolving, through going through all the transformational processes, because we always see humanity as something finished, but actually, according to me, we are work in progress, and we are transformed long term into something that nobody can explain you today, because a lot of us think that with the so-called label of death and the stopping of the existence of this body, everything stops. But if it doesn't stop, the important thing is to know what is the long-term direction. And if we embrace that the direction is that we always be in the physical matter reality, then the important thing is to daily actually learn to interact with it. Then we are going to stop all the processes of escapism, all the processes of ignoring your reality, all the processes of not developing and maturing the relationship with your body, all the processes where we are stopping the ruling of our body, because long term we are to subdue in order to rule. We need to be in our positioning. where we are in a proper interaction with the physical matter reality. And this is part of the ruling reality concept that I'm presenting before you, and I'm presenting now in this series, Reality Subject to Influence, during the month of October. And this is actually what I'm willing to achieve for this month. It's not important if physical matter reality is influenceable. The important thing is to see that there is a long-term interaction, and as you can see, long-term, you cannot see, well, Alex, I know I have studied a lot, I know a lot about the spiritual, the invisible, I have so much knowledge, and I'm 100% convinced that this above thinking is much more better than the below thinking and then the earthly and the physical matter reality. Well, what about the end? If we have a direction that everything will stay in the plane of the physical matter reality, what about the end game? What is happening in the end? What about if everything that we are experiencing is not that one day the physical matter reality is going to stop to exist and all of us are going to float into some type of a spiritual, invisible, formless, and so on environment if we are anyhow continuing to exist? What about if the long term is the actual merging of the invisible and visible to such an extent that we naturally are enjoying the positioning of this merging into such an extent that everything in our body is very easily complied with the invisible part of the human being, and we are long-term, all of us, all over humanity, however and how many during the ages we are, and no matter what type of possibilities and opportunities we have, to be a good rulers of the physical matter reality. Because we want another destination, we want another direction. But actually, if we embrace the place in which we already are, only then we are going to thrive, because there is no where to go. There is only this for us in which we already are. That's why I'm willing to long-term nourish this idea about interaction with the physical matter reality, this idea about ruling and understanding everything and feeling the order of the natural interaction between the visible and invisible, and working long-term as rulers of what we already are and what we already have as individualized beings. So one of the things that each of us have and have responsibility long-term to interact and have relationship with is our body. So enjoy this interaction. There is no other option, as I showed you what are the directions according to me. So instead of ignoring your body, instead of allowing your body to rule you, and it also is up for me to not allow my body to rule me, but to constantly create processes where I'm the one that is influencing our body. And only then it will make reasons for us to make goals not only about wealth, abundance, about what we want to do, or even about relationships with other people, but first let us set goals about our bodies. I know this is the hardest thing because then the feedback is 100% immediate. When I'm not doing the job, my body is immediately overcoming and taking over the tendency, but also long term it is created to do and to listen to everything that I'm commanding or allowing or accepting or identifying with. So it is created the body to be under us, but we are constantly allowing it to be over us. So this is a long-term interaction where both of the physical matter and non-physical matter looks like that they're colliding with each other, but the long-term destination is for everything to come into synchronicity and all this physical matter and the invisible to stay together, though transformed into totally new substances and consistency, into a better and harmonious relationship. So enjoy your day. There is no other way but learning to influence the physical matter reality in order to stay in our positioning of border zone creatures, which are neither spiritual, neither invisible, but neither only visible part. So thank you for watching today. You can subscribe for my YouTube channel for more content, and bye bye.